Welcome to the Mountain Man Chronicles. Be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Live, learn, and explore.
Hey, this is Paul again, coming at you from the garage. Getting ready for our next trip in mid-September to go explore Custer's Trail from Fort Lincoln all the way around through Montana to Little Bighorn. It's going to be a fun adventure. In prep for that trip and from learnings from our trip from Montana and Wyoming, we've done some modifications to the Jeep. I thought today would be about those modifications. Not a how-to video. I'm not a big fan of just recording me working on things. I'll do it occasionally, but this is one of things I did and what I did to the Jeep and why. Maybe giving you guys some ideas on why you would modify things, maybe learn from my mistakes, learn from my learnings, and help you out. I did add a couple things. So we put a topper on the back of the Jeep. I chose to go with Softopper versus the best top for various reasons that I'll cover today. I've had a Softopper, and all just transparency, on my Power Wagon, which I sold. I had a 2012 Power Wagon before my Gladiator. I had both the best top, which I ripped, and I had a Softopper. Softopper was hands down better for various reasons. And then I added a Weboost system to my Jeep as well. Weboost was because we were out there in a remote spot a couple times. We had a big leak in our garden. Nobody can get a hold of us, and we were in really spotty coverage, so we kept dropping the call. It was just a pain in the butt. So we added a Weboost to get a little extra boost. I have tested it here in South Dakota. It does work. We got on a remote area. We had very low, like less than 1 bar. 1 bar was coming in and out. Hit the Weboost. We were able to test it out. I was able to call my wife and say, hey, I'm testing out the Weboost and it's working. So I'm going to take you both through those, give you my ideas, and just do a part 1 video, which I'll do another one after 6 months of a complete review. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts and your ideas and what I could do better in comments in YouTube or in Facebook, either one. Just let me know how I could do better. Thanks.
As you can see here, I actually added a couple things to the Jeep. We've done actually a lot more than just the Softopper and areas like that. So let's start with the Softopper and why. First of all, I absolutely love living here. It does get cold in the wintertime, so I absolutely love the solid side windows. They also roll up, so you can go soft top style if you'd like. You have full access to the bed. So a couple of the benefits are, if I have to access the bed, the whole thing just folds down, right? I don't have to remove the top. So that's a benefit. Also, you can roll up the sides. You can see the clips up here that you can just roll them up, and they have little clips inside. The other benefit is it's as I said, it folds down really, really easy. Now in the back, I did choose to get a solid rear window. Right now I have the plexiglass or fly window on it, like a Jeep top. Like that for the summertime, allows me to see out the back window. Wintertime, because it does get cold here in South Dakota, although it's a beautiful day today with blue skies in the high 80s, but probably 90s, you can have the window on, not a problem. The other thing I liked a lot about the Softopper versus the best top is if I want to lower the back, I don't have to do anything. I just lower the back. Now, if I don't want to lower the back, or if I want to remove this, I just basically unzip it, pop this out, and it removes. So I'm going to remove both sides. Be right back. You'll see here, if you want to go with it around the top and have the topper off, it's nice. Gives you full air access, and it's really nice to get into. Canoli rides back here occasionally, so it makes it really easy for him. If we're off-roading, it's summertime, and I just want to have the back open, I could do that as well and make access to everything really easy. Stays on really well, no complaints. Absolutely love this top. So we come to the inside, and you can see here the bows just fold up. You can see here now that all my stuff is in here, I have more room, it's more protective. The other thing that you'll notice on my trailer is I've added 2 slide trays. So basically what I did is I cut some wood, measured it out, made some brackets. We found from the last trip, we brought, because it was a long trip, it was 10 days. We're going to do some longer trips like that next year as well. Although we have a big old refrigerator in the trailer, we found that 1 drink for waters, 1 drink for overflow food. My wife loves to cook. She does a lot of prep ahead of time. So we wanted to have that. You'll see my back to my Sawtoppers in the back there. My truck needs to be vacuumed out, so excuse me for that. So it is, we just added some slides. I have more than 2 refrigerators. So now we can put both refrigerators in side by side. Makes it nice so I can access them and get to them really easy on both sides. Also, this fits one of our dog crates. So that's kind of nice as well. So we have the option to do both sliders. I can get to a refrigerator on either side. Gives me all the room in the back for my gear. On the side for my gear, I can still access everything. Now that I have the topper on, my boxes stack, so I can stack them easier. One of the things we found when we had the tonneau cover before, like on my wife's truck has right now, you couldn't stack anything. You were limited to the top of the trailer, and so it was really bothering. And then every time you wanted something, you had to unfold the tonneau cover, get to it, which was a pain, right? I did like that it could keep the dust out. That was my one requirement. We will test that with the Softopper coming up here on our next trip. I'm hoping, I mean, it seals all the way around, so I'm hoping it's going to keep the dust out just as well. I'm pretty confident it will. I don't see why it wouldn't keep the dust out. So that's the Softtop. I love it. I liked it a lot on we lived in the Sierras before. I liked it a lot on my Power Wagon. So when I went back to it, that's why. It worked beautifully before, and I'm pretty confident it will again. One of the other things I had a listener that commented on and asked me about was my backing on my tailgate. So this is, I forgot the brand, but it's basically food grade plastic, a little dirty right now. So if I were to cook on it, I did. Before my trailer, I used to cook a lot on the tailgate, and it always has those bumps. So I wanted something smooth that had a couple of drink holders so I could set up my table and basically use that. So I bought this. It's made by DZ, and basically it's food grade plastic. It comes drilled already for the Jeep bolts. It allows you to have a surface to cook on, something to cut on if you want to, if you cleaned it. I get a little dirty, so didn't clean it. And allows you to use your Jeep as a food table, essentially, where you don't have the bumps, you don't have to worry about drinks and stuff falling over. And I used that for a couple years before I actually got the trailer, and I absolutely love it. Hope that's helpful. The next thing was putting on the Weboost and setting that up. So I tried to find places to put the Weboost, and I struggled with it pretty heavily. So with the Weboost, we worked on it. We thought about it. I spent a lot of time trying to figure it out. I ended up going to Amazon. I love Amazon. You've heard me say that before. And buying one of their mounts, one of the rooftop ones. It's a pretty reasonable mount. It mounts right up. It's really sturdy. I actually like the way it looks. And it gave me a portion to mount the Weboost to. And if I need to, I could put stuff on the top in the future. You'll see here on the Weboost antenna, it fit nicely and it mounts nicely. The other thing is it gave me the ability to, I'm going to try doing this one-handed, so bear with me. Give me the ability to raise it up, and it's weighing the heck up there, which I'll show you here in a minute. But also, if I really want to get into some tight trails, again, bear with me, I'm doing this one-handed. I can always go at an angle, or best yet, go all the way down with it so it's below the rack line. So I have the option to put it below the rack line and all the way up, depending on the trails I'm doing and what I'm doing. Now, I'm a notorious overpacker when I go overlanding. So we'll see how this works with the heat. So far, it's been so good. I'm a notorious overpacker when I go overlanding. So we'll see how this works. So far, so good. The Weboost module went here. I ran the antenna up along underneath through the water hole, which I basically used one of those little seal nut in so it won't leak in the car. I also went through and wired it up to the front because you have to have the receiver up to the front, and then hook this to the antenna on the roof through that water hole. So far, it's so good. It's on a switch on the dash, so I don't leave it on all the time. I only turn it on when I need it. Ironically, the only time it's on really is the same time my radio is on, my GRMS radio and my ham radio. So it's hooked to that same switch through a different relay, so it has its own power source. But it does work well, so that does come on. I do use it, and it will be on when I'm overlanding. So that's the Weboost. That was actually a really easy install. I've tested it here in South Dakota. It's worked. I noticed if you look on the video before, you'll see a camping spot that we camp at. That's notorious for having no bars or one bar. And so I went out there and tested it. I called my wife. She heard me without it. It was breaking up. We dropped the call a couple times, as we've experienced before. Then I turned the Weboost on, and she was able to talk to me. And really, that's what it's for. It's not going to create a cell signal. If you're expecting that, it's not going to happen. If there is a cell signal and you're getting really, really just bad calls, it will enhance that cell signal and help it bring it through. And it did do that. I can attest that it does work. And now, as you can see with the soft top up, you can see there's no interference with the rack by the rack. Everything opens up nicely. It does stick up a little bit, but it's, it doesn't fold back 100%, but that's okay. I drove around with it. So far, even on the freeway, held up nicely, worked beautifully. So no complaints about the soft top at all. Absolutely loved it with the rack on. I like the rack. I like the Weboost. So far, my Jeep, I think, is getting ready for our next trip in North Dakota, which is coming up in September.
I hope you enjoyed today's video, just a walkthrough of some of the little things I did at the Jeep after our trip. One thing I always like to do is take a look at other people's Jeeps when I go out and find things that I think are interesting or solve a problem that I have. So I went out with Tim and a couple other people this past trip. Two of them had the topper on it. It reminded me how much I missed the topper. My wife and I had trouble getting the refrigerators. They were really awkward angles. So it solved that problem. And then the Weboost, we were out somewhere, like I said, and we had a flood out in our lower part of our property. And so we had to go find somewhere to contact them and be able to talk to them, and we're able to do that. Now we had one bar, but it just was a bad call. So now hopefully we won't get dropped calls and be able to communicate with them. So that's solved that problem. And then finally the food table was something I've been just asked a lot about, and I thought you guys would be interested. I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's just a quick one, not really a full how-to, just some thoughts and some reviews of different things I put on the trailer and Jeep. I'm sorry about that. There are different things that I put on the trailer and Jeep. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe in the video and let me know your thoughts if you'd like to see more stuff like this. Thanks. Look forward to seeing you on the trail.
Welcome to the Mountain Man Chronicles. Be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Live, learn,